Hey, so the other day I sat in on a Facebook Live video with Lisa Collins. She was reading Where the Wild Things Are to kids, and it was like all the edge and stress of the moment just kind of came winding down for me, and it seemed like for all the other adults who were watching it. They said kids were watching, but I don't know. She didn't think they were, and I didn't think they needed to. It was so relaxing. It made me think: who are the people, the familiar voices in Charlestown, who just encourage and kind of love this community really well. And so I wanted to talk with 4, 5, 6 people about that. And I thought of Erik Maloy. Erik's my really good friend. He's pastor at First Church in Charlestown. We actually are not, we're both wearing our church's shirts, Christ Church Charlestown, First Church. Look, they're two different churches, believe it or not. We are not the same people and we don't meet at the same space, but we are friends and we do pray for each other and cheer for one another. So Erik, thanks for being here, man. I'll let you just tell how long you've been at First Church, and then tell me, if you will, what's the best thing you've seen from the people of Charlestown during COVID-19?
Well, I'm the aforementioned Erik Maloy at First Church. I am coming on 5 years. Is that right? Yeah, I'm coming on 5 years this summer. That's second longest job I've ever had in my whole life, so that's probably a good thing. Very excited about that. We are thankful to be a part of the Charlestown community. Love the community. Been able to kind of just be part of so many things that have happened. Love being the community feel of Charlestown. I think is one of my favorite things. I am I was very heartbroken to share the news of no parade this year with our folks. That's something we definitely look forward to, and just kind of everything else that goes along with it. So um, I don't know. Other than that, I don't know how much more intro you wanted
Yeah,
from me.
best thing you've seen for people in the neighborhood during this. What's been the best thing you've seen?
You know the thing I think, and it's in this, I think it's just magnified in this, but I think it's something that happens on a regular basis, is that Charlestown does a great job of taking care of Charlestown. I talked to pastors, and I'm sure you've done it, who were like, "Oh, we're putting together food banks, we're doing that," and then I'm like, "Our community, our community takes care of each other." I was like, I'd be happy to do stuff that like that for our community, but our community already takes care of that. I mean, everybody just takes care of each other. It's
Yeah,
just, and so even throwing your name in the hat, it's literally something that somebody has already thought of, has already gotten on board, and it's just so cool to be able to be part of a community where people just, something happens and everybody just jumps in and
that's right.
they take care of it. I mean, I think I compare it to a couple years ago, excuse me, when the apartment complex burned down, and we were one of the collection spots for clothing and all that kind of stuff, and it was like it was overflowing, and it was just we just it was people just gave and gave and gave. And so I just think one of the best things I've seen in Charlestown is people just are, sure, hey, no problem, here you go, here you go, here you go, and they do everything they can to take care of each other. We're connected with Turn It Around, and they've done a really cool job of taking care of the kids during this time and making sure that like nobody's forgotten about, and that they're connected with other people. And it's been a really cool thing to experience.
Yeah, it's so nice. Like, a lot of pastors have to pastor their community. I don't feel like we as much have to do this, along with the other pastors of the community. Don't have to pastor only. Like, we basically have 1,000 pastors, Christian and non, in Charlestown. We just have to resource them and point them to the gospel for sure. What's
Right.
one word of encouragement you have for the community right now in the midst of everything going on?
I, you know I think that's one of the things that is in desperate need, and I think in short supply. I think so many people feel, I do, at least I feel trapped in my house sometimes, and I feel like, when's it? But I mean, it will come to an end. I mean, like, this too will pass. This will come to an end. I think one of the greatest things we can always remember is that nothing takes God by surprise. That
That's good.
at no point has this has the COVID-19 thrown God a curveball. At no point was he fooled. He, in his sovereignty, knew this was going to be here, and that there is a purpose for this. And we might not see it for years to come, but I will say, one of the other, going along with that, and I'm now speculating, but one of the things I've seen in my neighborhood, which of course, unfortunately, isn't in Charlestown, but even when I've gone down to the church, is I've seen so many more families out and about with each other, walking around, even pictures of families doing things together in their homes that we probably don't normally get to do. I'm assuming there's so many more who are getting to have meals together, who are getting to enjoy um, all of this, all of these times together that they normally don't.
Yeah.
And and so to me, I just be encouraged by that, because I grew up in the 80s and 90s, 20 years ago, and we were the original latchkey kids. We let ourselves in at home and scavenged for food in the cabinets, and were largely ignored until mom or dad or whoever came home from work, and then went to practice and all that kind of stuff. So for, I don't know, the last 30 years, this is a unique time in our culture that families can actually
Yeah.
interact with.
Man, I say to people in our church, I'm like, look, let's be careful not to want to jump to the next thing. Like, this may be the thing. Like, this may be the moment that 50 years from now we look back and say, do you remember that moment that was so great? What's the first thing when this is over that you and Sarah, or you and your friends, or just you alone, are going to go and do?
Oh man, that is a great question. We have talked about all kinds of stuff. I'm really looking. I mean, I know this sounds cheesy or whatever because I'm a pastor, but man, I'm looking forward to going to church again. I mean, I really am. I mean, I really miss our people a lot. Um, I'm ready to take my wife out on a date. I mean, I love my daughter and all. Our son's away in the Navy, but it would be nice to, get away from her for a little bit. And all these people who don't have kids probably just like cringe that I said that. Everybody who has kids was like, yes. So, um, and I think honestly, I've been looking at the pictures. I think I want to go to the tavern. I mean, I'm not trying to over advertise, but we love it there, and support local businesses, and you know, heck yeah. So
You're not the first to say that. That's so good, man. Anybody else that you know in Charlestown that you would say, hey, people need to hear their voice. You should talk with them. They need to be heard.
I would say anybody over who works over at the coalition, Sarah Maswati. I'm sure you've probably already talked to Shannon, but I'd say any of them. They do a lot, especially for the teenagers here in Charleston, and I think they'd probably be really helpful.
Dude, that's awesome, man. I'm so thankful for you. I don't know that everybody even knows that you don't get to live in Charlestown right now. I know you want
I
to move
know.
here soon, but man, you are such an asset to this community, you and Sarah, and so grateful that for our family, we're not alone in ministry, but there are other good pastors and priests in this neighborhood who really love this community, love Jesus, are doing the best they can. So, dude, thank you so much. Stay well. As soon as this is over, let's connect over a coffee or something. And
Heck yeah.
it's good to see you on this format. Can't wait to see you face to face.
Heck yeah, man. Good to see you too. Thankful for you as well. And yeah, definitely let's get together once we can.
Thanks, brother. Good, man. You go.